How do I put this in a way where I don't overhype it? It's not looking good for Mr. Henry Ruggs. With everything coming out now and the attorney saying they're going to use that against him as evidence, it's looking like he's done for. Here is a player that nobody has talked about or said anything about him in a long time, and he goes by the name of Henry Ruggs. Gosh, man, it's so hard to believe. It feels like it happened, what, a month or two ago? But that incident he had that, it wound up being really bad, it happened in November, so it's coming up upon 1 year. Wow, man, that is the only thing I know to say. Who else thought it just happened not too long ago, and come to find out it's about to be a year? Just like they say though, time flies, and it's definitely flying by in this situation. I'm not gonna bore you and give you the long and drug out backstory. Most of us watching this video, we know what happened. For those of you that have no idea what happened, let me give you a refresher and a very brief, and I mean a very brief run through. To make a very long story short, Mr. Henry Ruggs, he was drinking too much, and instead of trying to get an Uber, taxi, or one of his friends to drive, he got behind the wheel and he got into a wreck. This wreck not only cost him his job, but it's looking like it's going to cost him his entire career in life. His livelihood, as he knows it, it may forever be gone. He lost his entire livelihood. This guy was making millions of dollars. He was a young star in the NFL, and all that got wiped away within the blink of an eye. You hate to see it, you really do, and I know it's going to be controversial. Some people have no sympathy for him, but I do. If you want to know why I have sympathy for him, I'm going to try to keep this fairly simple. Should he have been drinking and driving? No, but guess what? I've never drank in my life, but coming from everybody else that has, they tell me this. Whenever you're drunk, you tend to make some bad decisions you normally wouldn't make if you were sober. To go on top of that, I want to offer you this. It's not like he got into his car with the intent of hurting somebody. He didn't do this on purpose. It was an accident. Now, am I saying he should be a free man? We should forgive him that easy? No. He didn't mean to do this. Now, once again, let me make this clear. I'm not saying it makes it okay for what he did. I'm just saying I have sympathy. Me and him grew up in relatively the same area. I remember playing AAU against this guy, and everybody would tell you this. He's a great dude. His former college football coach, Nick Saban, said the exact same thing. He's a great kid, great person. He just made a terrible mistake. He's a great dude. He really is. And I think everybody that's talked to him, they would say the same thing. Unfortunately, the reality of this situation we're in, since he did what he did, not too many people are going to think that. Until this man passes away, people will continue to criticize him and be hard on him for his mistake. Rightfully so. I'm not disagreeing with that because his mistake, it cost somebody else their life, and it's terrible. I'm not trying to sway you or convince you to try to have sympathy for him. I'm just explaining to you why I do. Anyways, getting back on topic, he went to court, and for the past, I'd say 6-7 months, nobody's talked about him. There hasn't been too much going on or really anything being said up until recently. We got some major, and I mean some major updates, and if you are a fan of this guy, it's not going to be a good thing, and you might want to click off now. How do I put this in a way where I don't overhype it? It's not looking good for Mr. Henry Ruggs. We've got a lot to talk about and go over, and you already know we're going to dive deep into detail and see what's really going on. But real quick, we're on the road to 300K. I'm not saying we're going to hit it off of this video, but if everyone watching this video, all the new people and people not subscribed, if you subscribe to the channel right now, we could get slightly closer. It's free to subscribe. If you like football content, I really think you enjoy this channel, and you can always unsub later. All right, Matt, shut the crap up. And now, without further ado, let's get into it. Alright, we're not beating around the bush, we're jumping straight into it. Recently, he had to go to court, and here's what one of the judges said. According to ESPN, a Las Vegas judge ruled Tuesday that blood alcohol tests are permitted as evidence in the case against Henry Ruggs. Whoa, hold on. I know what you're sitting there saying. Yo, Matt, what does that even mean? I'm sure some people are going to know what that means, but for the others that don't, let's just say that is a major detail. If you're associated with Henry Ruggs, like you're his lawyer or anything like that with his legal team, that's not what you wanted to hear. Why is that important? I'm glad you asked, because at the time his blood content was 0.16, which means that was more than twice of the legal limit. Yeah, you don't get to be a rocket scientist to figure out that's not a good thing for Mr. Henry Ruggs that they're going to use that as evidence. You don't got to be a lawyer to figure out if you were double over the limit that is allowed, you're more than likely going to be proven guilty. Or not just proven guilty, but the sentence is going to be a little more harsh. Henry Ruggs' lawyer, his team, they can lie and try to sway this however way they want, but guess what? That 0.16, it's not going to be able to lie. It's a cold hard fact. His lawyer isn't a fan of this, and I don't see why he would be, because that's not going to be working in his favor. And I'm also going to read you off this quote that a district attorney working the case had to say. "I've been involved in the justice system for over 40 years as both a defense lawyer and a young prosecutor. I've never been involved in, or am I aware of, another criminal case involving somebody traveling 156 miles an hour." So yeah, that's also not in his favor, going 156. Oh man. I hate to say this, I really do. I like Henry Ruggs as a person, like I told you earlier in this video. Now, I'm not saying what he did is okay, but I'm just saying I do like him as a person. He's not a bad person. He did a bad thing, but that doesn't mean he's a bad person. With everything coming out now and the attorney saying they're going to use that against him as evidence, it's looking like he's done for. There is some people trying to state that maybe he could come back and play football because he is still working out. For those of you sitting there wondering, well, how in the heck is he working out? Because he's supposed to be under house arrest. And well, on March 16th, the judge actually gave him permission to leave to work out twice per week or 3 hours at a time. Or my bad, not 3 hours at a time, for 3 hours at a time. Here's where it gets even more interesting though, and I'm going to read this off to you. Pay attention. "A hearing will happen today regarding the argument that the police lack probable cause to request a warrant for the blood to be drawn from Ruggs for alcohol testing. Without that proof, the DUI case goes away." So basically, if you don't know what that means, to dumb it down, his lawyer is stating there was no reason he should have got tested for a DUI. I'm not a cop or anything, so I don't know all the rules, but I'm going to assume if you know somebody was doing 156 and there's a fatal car crash, there should be a reason for a DUI, a DUI test. Maybe I could be misinformed on that, but I don't know why his lawyer is trying to say he shouldn't have got tested. Because I'm going to let you know right now, if I'm a cop and somebody's going 156 and crashes, yeah, the first thing I'm doing is going, okay, we got to get this guy to take a DUI test. I'm going to let you know right now, this doesn't even look like it is even close to being over soon. And I really don't think Henry Ruggs is ever going to play in the NFL ever again. You got to remember, this dude is a wide receiver. Their lifespan in the NFL, it's not too long, and they're easily replaceable. It's not like he's a quarterback. He can't play until he's 45 like Tom Brady. So let's say, for example, this blows over in 5, 10, maybe 13, 14 years. I don't know why an NFL team would even want to bring him on. There would be so much controversy going on, it wouldn't be a good look, and yeah, I pretty much think it's over for him. Last but not least, I want to end the video off with this. I've seen a lot of people on Twitter, they're not too happy with people that are supporting Henry Ruggs. Apparently, there's many out there who are furious that there's people even out there that are praying and supporting Henry Ruggs in this, mess. I don't want to be naive and say I don't know what they're talking about because I see where their anger comes from. He did something that was just horrible. There's not another way to say it, and everybody has this same argument. Oh, well, imagine what that family's going through. And I understand that 100%. What I'm saying is, we don't need to just pray for that family. We need to pray for everybody involved, and that's how I believe. If you don't believe or think that way, I understand it. I am curious. Let me know what you think about that down below. Once again, I hate to say it, my prayers go out to everybody involved in the situation. Overall, not good. I am very curious. Let me know what you think about this down below. But whatever, road to 30K. You know why I'm here. My last video, number 1, got demonetized. Frick you, YouTube. And number 2, this one's got to get to 8 minutes because your boy Matt, I'm trying to get a new car soon. So yeah, I apologize. I had to get this to 8 minutes. Well, I don't really apologize. And it is what it is. I'm peace, man. Road 30K.